Hi, Math Wizards. Welcome to our live stream. Wow, I can already see a few people in the room already. Welcome. Today, or I should say tonight, we're going to take a look at fractions, decimals, and percents all at the same time and try to figure out how we can put these in order on a number line. So we're going to be kind of comparing the values and then trying to see where we could place these in order. So let me just, give me 1 second here while I wait to see who's in the room. I want to just adjust so you can get it, see the number line here. So I have a blank number line we're going to start with. Hi, okay, I see Isabella. Awesome. Hi, Jacob. Alice is here. Hi, Ethan. And I think that's Lexi. Hi, Lexi. Good job, Max. I'm glad you could be here. All right, so what I'm going to challenge you with is to take a look at these values. So we have two fractions and we have one whole number here. And what I want you to try to do is to figure out how to put these in order. And as you tell me where you think they should go, I'm going to slide them up here across our number line. So one thing we could do when we're looking at three values is try to figure out if there are any values that are less than 1 that we know right away, or any values that are greater than 1 right away, and then kind of group those together and then figure it out from there. So, do you see any values as you look at the 3 that you think are greater than 1 or less than 1 that I should put together? And then we can take a look and see. Or if you think you know which value should go first along the number line, you can type that in the stream. Hi, Emmanuel. Oh, you're not late. You're right on time. We just started. So we're going to take a look and see if we can figure out how to put these in order. Okay, so where would you like me to put the 1? If I slide it up here, do you want me to put it in the middle of the number line? Do you want me to put it on the left side, the right side? Where would you put it if you were just getting started to put these in order? 1 is first. Okay, at the beginning. So how about this? Would you like me to slide it over this way? You can just give me a thumbs up if that looks good. Alice thinks it needs to be on the left. Max wants to keep it in the middle. That's okay. You could always start off with the 1 in the middle and then go from there, Max, as you look at the other values and figure out how they compare to this. So, hi Hayden. Welcome. I just saw your name there. So I'll hold it here. I saw more people giving me the idea of moving it to the left, so I'll hold it about right here. And then as we figure the other two, so I'm going to pull these over here together so that we can compare these. Now looking at these two, which one do you think would come next? And rather than just kind of guessing, we want to really take a minute to compare them. We've tried different ways in the classroom to set fractions next to each other. And Emmanuel, you can just watch the stream and give me your feedback along the way. There's no need to write anything on paper. However, if you feel you need to use paper pencil, that's okay too. Okay, so Ethan thinks I should take the 5 over the 4 next. Can you tell me why, Ethan? Why did you decide that I should pull this one up next? So if I pull this up here, I'm going to hold it here for a second so people can look at them side by side. But why is this one, do you think, going to come next in order? How do we figure this out? Just looking at it as a fraction, we could think about it as a mixed number, if that helps you to think about it, or we can keep them as they are and then think back to how do we look and think about fractions that are side by side to compare them. Okay, Max thinks this is higher. 5 over 4 is 1 and 1/4, so okay, you're thinking about it in this term. Does that help you if you think about it this way to compare it to this fraction over here? I'm just trying to figure out what you're thinking when you're looking at the two. 10/6 and 5/4 are larger than 1. Okay, good job, Isabella. Both of these you figured out are greater than 1, we can definitely see that the numerator is higher than the denominator. So that's a good sign that they're going to be greater than 1. So with that thought, they could both come up here on the right side of the 1, because we know on a number line, the values that are moving to the right are always greater as we move along. But with these two, which one should I put next in order next to the 1? So 10 over 6 is 1 and 4, 6. Okay, so if this helps you, I'll put this over here so you can see 1 and 4, 6. This is what Ethan is showing me here. He's thinking about that. So now if that helps you and you know whether 4, 6 is greater than 1/4, then that's a way that you could put them in order. Now some people might look at these two fractions and be confused about which one is greater than the other. Is there another way that we could look at this? Who agrees that I should pull 5/4? Let's do this. Does 5/4 go next? Because I think I saw 3 people so far that think this one comes next. Okay, Lexi agrees. Ethan, Emmanuel. Okay, good. So I think we're all in agreement that this one comes next. So then that's only leaving us with the 10/6, right? So this one, I'm going to slide this up over here for you guys. Now, as we place them across the number line, should they be exactly equally apart? Or are there any of the values that you think would wind up close to each other on the number line? Hi, Austin. And Yasmin, welcome. Great job. I'm glad you could be here. For example, if I was putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the number line, I would probably just spread them out equally because they're whole numbers that are going in order. But when you're looking at these, are there any that you would like me to put closer to each other or further away from each other? I'll give you a second to think about that. How much further apart is 10/6 from 5/4? Or how much further apart from 5/4 should it be from 1? Should I put it right next to it, like this? Or is it a little further away? Thinking about 1 and 4, 6 and 1 and 1/4. Okay, 1 inch apart. 1 is close to 5/4. So I'm looking at what Jacob is saying. 1 is close to 5/4. Okay, so pretty close to 5/4 being 1 1/4. All right, and so then you like me to keep this one a little bit further up over here. That makes sense because let's say I had 1 2/4. That would be right, 1 1/2. So this 1 and 4, 6 is going to be a little closer that way, isn't it? Okay, great job, you guys. So I'm going to pull this aside now and give you 3 different values now that we have those in order, and see how we do here. I've got the next one is, let's try these 3. 1 and 1/4, 7/5, and then I'm going to put a decimal in here just to make it a little more challenging. So let's see, when you look at these 3 values, we could start off by thinking about, are there any that we know for sure are either greater than 1 or less than 1 that we could separate from the others? Okay, Emmanuel thinks I should put 25/100 first. Oh, great. I think that's Lexi. Lexi is giving me the idea that 25/100 is 1/4. So if we think about this in terms of it being in the fraction format, we can kind of compare it that way. So I'm going to pull this over because I see a lot of people saying to put that first. Okay, let me ask you this. Is 25/100 less than 1 or greater than 1? Less than 1 or greater than 1? Oh, okay. I've got one already with the idea of putting all 3. I see right here. Who is that? Somebody gave me all 3 values in order. Okay, I see Max is telling me that this is less than 1, less than 1, less than 1. Okay, good. So I think a lot of us are agreeing this is less than 1. So I'm imagining this kind of being on the left side if there was a 1 here, but there's not a just a regular 1. So now we're taking a look at these two over here. So now let's look at these and see if we can figure this out. How can we figure out which one is going to come next? What do you think comes in the middle? Now some people grab a calculator and then just take, so for example, 7 divided by the 5 and see what it is in the decimal format. And then it's easier to compare everything because you're just comparing decimals with each other. So I see Max thinks 1 and 1/4 should come next in the middle. Make the fractions equivalent if you're confused, okay? And then I see 7/5 and 7/5. Okay, so what if we took this, if you think about this one, instead of it being 1 and 1/4, what if we took it like this? This is another way maybe in your head that you could think about these. What if we took this and wrote it as an improper fraction? What would this be as an improper fraction? One and 1/4. What would that be as an improper fraction? Okay, so I'm just going to put this right here. So if you were imagining this in your mind, okay, this is the same thing as 5/4, and then you look at these two side by side. We had a little trick we used to do where we cross multiplied to see what the higher value was. Let's see if you can do that in your head to figure out which one would be the greater value. So I could multiply the 4 times 7 in my head and hold that number, and then 5 times the 5 in my head, hold on to that number, and then figure out which value is less. Okay, now I'm seeing 7/5 is greater, 7/5 is greater, so maybe that strategy worked for a couple people. Okay. 5/4 is less. Okay, that's another way of saying, comparing the two. 5/4 is less. So I'm going to go ahead then and take this 5/4 that you're saying is less and put that over here. Pull that up. So then which one do you want me to put last? 7/5 is greater. Great job. And then I see somebody had that initially. Is that Hayden? I think Hayden had it. Great job. Okay, so these are up here. Now, if you look at the 3, do you think they should be evenly spaced apart, or is there any of these 3 that should be further away from the other 2? Or should I put the one on the end really far away? Hi, Maria. Glad you could be here. 7/5 should be closer to the 1 and 1/4, okay? And then how about this? Do I have this where it makes sense? Being that this is much less than 1 whole, should I keep it where it is now or even push it further? Okay, further away from 1 and 1/4. How about there? Give me a thumbs up if that looks good to you. Yes, okay. All right, great job, you guys. So we just put these 3 in order. Now I'm going to just give you one more to try out here. And there's 3 more values we're going to look at. Let's see here. But with these 3 values, I'm going to throw in a percent. Let's see if you can figure this out. So what if I give you 20%, 7/3, and 0? Tell me what you want me to do. Are there any of the 3 that you know right off the bat where you would put it? Okay, 0. I see 0, 0, 0 first. 0 should be first. 0 is at the very beginning. Okay, so we're going to go one step at a time, and I'm going to pull the 0 over here, listening to what you're telling me. So if we think of the number line as being, now the 0 being first, I could put it still in the center here if I wanted, or over this way. So I'm going to just pull it up here, and you guys can let me know along the way whether you think I should put it closer to the left, or if I put it way over here, are we going to have the room that we need? I'll hold it it here for now. And then let's take a look at these two. Where are these going to go? So are these, when I look at these, can you figure out if they're both greater than the 0? If they are both greater than the 0, we have to figure out which one comes first. So we might have to do a little of an adjustment, thinking about the 20%. Okay, Jacob thinks the 20% should go next. Why do you think that, Jacob? How did you figure that out? %20 is next. I see a few people that agree with you. Okay, Alice is thinking about 20% as 20 over 100. Okay, 20 hundredths. All right, I'm going to slide this over and put it up here. But if I'm thinking about 20%, as Alice was saying, 20 over 100, is there another equivalent fraction that you could come to in your mind that might help you to compare it easier with the 7/3? 10 over 50. Okay, I'll pull this up here. I just want to show what some people are thinking along the way. Can I go any less than 10 over 50 or 10/50ths? There we go. Let's pull it in again. So if you look at percentages and try to bring it down to the simplest value possible, that might help you when you look and you compare over with another fraction. Now some students might look at this and then go ahead and do the cross multiply. 5 times 7 over here and the 3 times 1 over here, and then that helps us to figure out, you know, which of these fractions is greater than the other. So definitely 7/3 is going to go up here, right, last. But when I think about it, it's going to be pretty far away from the 20%, isn't it? Because if I look and compared it by using cross multiplying, 5 times 7 is 35. 3 times 1 is only 3. So 3 is a much lesser value than 35. So I would know on a number line. I'm going to find this a lot further along. Can anyone tell me what you're thinking about in terms of this fraction right here? If you were to convert that to a mixed number? Okay, thank you, Jacob. 2 1/3, right? 2 1/3. So here we have only 1/5, but this is all the way at 2 1/3. So this would be much further down the line than 1/5, because 1/5 we haven't even reached to the whole number of 1. So I probably might even be able to pull this a little bit closer down this way, couldn't I? And then leave the space in between for the whole number 1, the whole number 2, and then pull this way down over here. You guys did a great job putting these in order. These are not either. These are a little more challenging when you're mixing together the fractions with the percents and the decimals. So great job, you guys. Now I'm going to go ahead. This is the I'm going to pull the raffle winner for. Let's see. I have all the names in here from that last stream, and I need to pull a winner from that. Now this was the contest that we did where we were kind of racing to see who got to the correct answers first, and we had first, second, third place winners. Now keep tuning in every Wednesday, because this month during December I'm also going to, once the next time you see the hat come out, you'll know that everybody who's in the stream actually gets a ticket into the raffle. So, but here we go. I'm going to pull one name out and see. Somebody thinks it's going to be Ethan. Let's see. Who do you think is going to be? Make a prediction. Who do you think it's going to be? Me. Jacob is hoping it's him. All right, here it comes, you guys. Oh, there it is. It's Jacob. All right. You just predicted yourself the winner, and here, look what happened. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay, everybody give him a little clap or a thumbs up or something like that. That was pretty funny. Good job, Jacob. Stay positive and see. You never know what's going to happen, right? All right, good job. Thanks, Alice, for being positive, throwing some positive words out there. So, Jacob, you've got a little gift card coming. All right, I hope you guys had fun, and go ahead and if you want to give a wave to your friends before I tune out on this one, give a quick wave. I'll give it a second here. Lots of there you go. Bye. I think that's Austin. And bye, Isabella. Great job, you guys. You did awesome work. And we will see you next time. Tune in next Wednesday. Okay. Bye, guys.